Welcome back to Retail Therapy on the Sunday Scaries podcast feed. My name's Will DeFries. Barrett Dudley, how we doing today?
I'm doing all right, just suffering from a minor case of the post-vacation blues. You know what I mean?
I get it.
You know how that goes.
I get it.
Yeah.
That'll be me next time we record, I think.
I think it probably will be. And it's but the silver lining of that is that I'm feeling more aggressive about taking trips than ever before.
Love it. Love it.
And I'm ready to get out there. I would like to go somewhere every month. I know that's not feasible, but
you look physically on vacation right now in your
dream.
online ceramic spring breakers tee.
Yeah, thank you.
I'm happy with what's happening right now.
Yeah, well, I had to, I've just come back from a week at the beach and I'm feeling my most tan, potentially the most tan I'll be all summer, which is a sad but true statement.
I'm on my pale grind this summer.
And so I had to break out the pink tie-dye.
I get it.
Because it really pops off. Also, full disclosure, we're about transparency here. I'm on performance-enhancing drugs for this tan. No spray tan this go-round, but I'm keeping it up a little bit longer with a little bit of self-tan.
Okay.
Yeah, a little bit of post-shower self-tanner.
I'm okay with this.
To keep the kind of deep bronze glow.
I'm okay with this.
Nothing too crazy, but just like, I want people to know that I was on vacation.
Yeah, you have to.
So if I need to stretch it a little bit, then that's what I'm going to do.
Your shirt has now put me down this wormhole because I just realized that I ordered an online ceramic shirt like 3 weeks ago.
Oh, well, so you've got about another 10 days to wait.
Yeah. I kind of forgot that it takes forever to get, but now it's like one of those situations where I ordered it so long ago that I kind of forgot that I ever ordered it in the first place, and I'm now excited for a good package day and maybe in 2 weeks' time.
It's true, yeah. The wait time, they say it's going to be 30 days on their website.
Yeah.
And the middle 2 weeks, I stop thinking about it.
Yeah.
But then I get to the point where you're at right now, where you're in that final home stretch, and then I'm kind of like, when do I email them? When do I check on the order? Doing that whole bit. And I will note that they sent me shipping notification exactly 30 days, on the dot. And then it didn't actually ship for another 5.
That makes sense.
So,
that makes sense.
they know what they're doing over there. They're like, oh man, we got to send these things out. We got to at least print the labels. And so they do that. And then they wrap up their, 18th trip of the year to Joshua Tree, and they actually go ship.
I think they're just on tour with Dead & Co. right now.
Yeah,
so they're it's not going to be 30 days. It'll be much longer than that. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I'm in this terrible rotation right now of ordering something and then maybe leaving town or having a long weekend, and my package will arrive on the Friday that I leave town. And so I can just envision it sitting in my mailroom or sitting in my mailbox, and I just have nothing to do with it.
Yeah.
It kills me. It kills me inside.
At least you have something, you on that flight back home, you've got a little, something to make that flight go down a little easier.
I'm not going to expose anybody, but last couple times this has happened way too much to me lately, where something has arrived. This happened with the, may they rest in peace, the general purpose Nikes that I ordered a while back.
Yeah.
This occurred, and the person who brought the packages in, unfortunately disposed of all the packaging and just left the shoes on the counter. I had the box for the shoes, but I didn't have the box that I didn't have the brown cardboard box that it came with.
You were robbed of the event of cutting open the cardboard box to get to what lies within.
I was also robbed of a little bit more than that in terms of maybe a receipt that came with the order that would have been pivotal in returning said shoes that were in a women's size. And so now I've just been like, please, I don't care if it's sitting in the rain, soaking wet, just do not touch it. Do not dispose of anything.
Yeah.
We'll see how it goes. We'll see how it goes. Oh, I'm currently in a major, well, I think I need to come up with a term for this because I am leaving town. I'm going to my sister-in-law's wedding this weekend in Napa, California, and I'm carrying on this. I'm having a very similar vibe to Italy this past year, and I just know that I have to fit as many fits into one duffel bag as I possibly can. And it's go time tomorrow.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's just I have such bad pre-vacation packing anxiety that it's become a thing. I'm going to talk to my therapist about this.
Yeah, it's arguably one of it's like a top 2 or 3 thing about traveling and about going on vacation is just the general packing of it all, but especially the the pre-trip fit anxiety.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I have a pile of clothes that I've just started making in my closet that is like, these are definitely coming on the trip. And
Right.
I'm
Yeah.
not even going to touch them right now because I don't want to wash them. I don't want to need to get anything dry
That's
cleaned.
right.
I don't even want like my son to walk up with like white cheddar on his hand and like swipe his hand down me. So
Right,
it's just
yeah.
like, those are in the corner of the closet.
Those
They're
are on
folded
on
perfectly.
lockdown.
I
Yeah.
have several purchases that might have been made on a Nordstrom gift card that I could never afford on my own that I'm very excited to bust out for the first time in California.
Okay,
So
I was
we'll see.
wondering about those. So that's you have those teed up for the Napa debut.
Yeah. I mean,
okay.
I could have worn them before, but like I just the idea of having to do multiple dry cleaning runs before
Yeah.
vacation, it's just something I'm not into.
I feel like what's the weather like up there this time of
I
year?
think it's warm during
It's
the
pretty
day.
warm,
I think it's
right?
warm during the day, and I think it cools down at night pretty significantly, just under 70.
I feel like you should not have as a man that has gone across the pond for multiple weeks with no checked baggage.
10 days. 10 days.
10 days. I feel like this
The
should
perfect
be
pack job, I will say.
this should be an easy carry-on for
I
you.
don't know. I feel like there's more pressure because like here's what I'm actually worried about. Like my actual fear is that like we're going to be with older people, like parents and
Mhm,
stuff like that. And they're going to be like, "Why is Will wearing ridiculous clothes this entire time? Like shouldn't he be wearing slacks and a button down?" And it's like, "No, I'm just wearing shit with way too much embroidery on it.
Yeah,
I'm wearing this
yeah.
shirt that has vegetables dancing with each other on it, and you're going to deal with it and you're going to like it."
Yeah.
But I'm okay with that.
I mean, I definitely understand that. Sometimes you have to tone it down a little bit given specific company.
Yeah, I don't think any neckerchiefs are going to go off this trip. Maybe they will.
Maybe they will.
Maybe they
Who
will.
knows? You
Maybe it's
don't-
Ascot
never say
summer.
never. Are you pulling out the derby suit? I figured.
I am, yeah. I'm going to wear that
yeah.
to the actual wedding itself.
Right,
I'm
yeah.
a little scared that it's pretty light in terms of the color of the suit. I don't want to get yelled at by the bride or anything,
Right,
but like
yeah.
no one's going to confuse me for getting married. So
That's-
I hope I can
I
just
know.
kind of-
I think you're safe from being confused for the bride.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
The biggest concern I have is packing too many sweaters. Like in my mind, I'm like, oh, every night it's going to get down below 70. I'm going to toss on a sweater and be all
Yeah.
happy. And then I'm going to end up, it's going to be too warm and I'm going to end up wearing one of them and having like 3 extra sweaters just sitting there.
So I just you mentioned that, or we've both mentioned that I just got back from vacation. I was in North Carolina,
Raise up.
and shouts to Petey.
Yep.
And it's generally a pretty warm trip with it that gets kind of beachy cool in the evenings.
Yeah.
But like generally like one sweatshirt and maybe a long sleeve is like all you need to worry about.
Yeah.
First half of the trip was like downright cold in the evenings and in the house. And like I had big time regret because the day before we left, I pulled out knits.
Can't do that.
I pulled out sweaters. I reduced my sweater packing, and I said, "This is absurd. Who needs all these knits for North Carolina in June?" And then I was woefully unprepared for the chilly evenings, and was we don't get to wear spring knitwear here, man.
We don't.
And my sweaters were back at home in their Sterilites, not getting precious wears when they could have been. So I'm never again. I'm a habitual overpacker. This time I wasn't, and I made the mistake, and now I'm going back to overpacking, and I'm bringing as much knitwear as I want to.
Randy, ring the bell. We've talked about the Ame eyelet sweater, and like it's such a heavy sweater based on how I originally thought it looked online. I thought it was gonna be a very light, kind of like, I don't know, flowy sweater. No, it's heavy.
Yeah.
And it's so heavy that I can't even put it in my carry-on because I don't want it to take up that much room. And so instead, I like wrapped my Theragun in it the other day and just made sure that there was a barrier between the Theragun and everything else. Like,
Yep.
and I was like, okay, then now this is just like packing peanuts for me because it's so chunky that I can't do anything but have it in my backpack. But
Yeah.
we will endure. I also had a situation the other day where I received a shirt in the mail and I had the theft tag still on it. I've never had that happen before. Luckily, the people made it right immediately, and all are happy now. But I was like, man,
It's good.
am I about to try to fashion this thing off and get ink everywhere? Do you actually get ink everywhere?
I don't think they have ink
Or
anymore.
is it just like rip the shirt?
Unless you looked at it and you were like, "This has ink in it," because you could see the ink.
It just seems unnecessary.
I don't think that's like old school like '90s department store.
Which, like, that's kind of the life I still want to. Like, I'm actually glad that my brain is still in 90s department
Yeah.
store. Like, that makes me feel good.
Well, I did note that you had ink filled security tags on your in list for today. So that tracks.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, did I steal this? Am I a bad boy? It's bad boy summer.
That's you're just one upping the late great Virgil Abloh.
I am.
You know,
Well,
he did the zip tie. You're going.
I'm going full thievery.
Yeah, you're going. Yeah.
Well, before we get to today's in and out lists, Let's start by talking about our partner for today's episode, Mugsy. Mugsy makes the most comfortable jeans, chinos, shorts, and joggers ever. Made from buttery soft, patented stretch materials that look stylish but are insanely comfortable. They're never too baggy, never too tight. They're frankly the best thing to happen to legs since chairs, and never in human history have legs been so spoiled by pure softness and comfort while looking so damn good. The guys at Mugsy have one mission in life, and that's to give every guy the confidence to walk blindly into their closet, reach out, and know whatever they pick will have them looking good and feeling even better. You will literally never have to go shop anywhere else ever again. If you go into either of their shops, they've got shops in Chicago, Boston, DC, Austin. You will see that they're more than just a denim company too. They've got so many other things in their arsenal. They've got crew neck sweatshirts that look great, t-shirts, everything. And they just dropped the Cool Max denim, which are like air conditioners for your legs. They spent years in the lab developing the most breathable jeans ever, designed by lightweight fibers to ensure a cool breeze with every single step. Go from the backyard barbecue to the bar in one swift motion all summer long. Head to Mugsy.com and get 10% off now using code SCARIES. That's 10% off some of the most premium jeans, chinos, swimwear, and shorts on the internet. Mugsy also offers free shipping and returns, so there's absolutely no risk in giving them a try. And like I said, if you're in Chicago, Boston, DC, or Austin, Texas, make sure to head downtown and check out their storefront as well. Easy vibes every time. And guess what? You can even enjoy a beer while you shop. Barrett, are you ready to get into this?
I'm very ready.
I'm a little nervous. I feel less, it's not that I'm less prepared, but I feel a little more gun shy. Like I feel like in the beginning when we were doing these in and out lists, I felt as though I was kind of getting wild with it. I didn't care if I offended anybody. I didn't care if I put something on the list that maybe was still in, but I thought it was trending out.
Well, you flew very close to the sun on your first time out.
I don't take it
You know what
back.
I mean?
I don't take it back.
Well, right. But so you set the bar very high.
I'm actually back in on oysters now.
You know what? I just had some oysters on Sunday
Yeah.
at a place that you may be familiar with, Bill's Oyster.
Bill's Oyster, very familiar.
And what a lovely experience I had.
Yeah. If you're in the area, one of my old roommates started a restaurant called Bill's Oyster. I highly recommend going and checking it out. I've heard it's got one of the best burgers in town.
I did not try the burger, but I will be back. And
Rave reviews.
Next time I will try the burger.
I had the flounder fingers.
Okay.
Great.
Yeah.
Great. Yeah. Very happy with how everything went. I think we should just start with our own personal list today, Barrett. I've got 5 or 6 that are solidified good ins, good outs.
Okay.
And then from there, we have a ton of listener submissions that I've kind of consolidated and made into a much more digestible list, and we can go through that as well.
That's right. And to add to that, if you came to our live podcast at Nordstrom in New York and you did not have your card read, your in and out card read, I've got the remainder of those right here. So I'm going to go through these and maybe pull a couple of ins and outs off of the ones that we didn't get to read out loud live. So we're just our cup runneth over with ins and outs today.
Good.
Yeah.
Good. That's how it should be.
So
I have one. My first one is one that I put on a list a long time ago, and I don't know why I put it on there.
Mhm.
And I don't even know why I thought that. I have no clue why I thought this in the first place, but I felt as though I was taken enough by this to put it on a list and not even in preparation for an episode, just to create a new list and put it on there. And so I'm just going to stick with it.
Okay.
This is something I don't own, or actually I do own one, or I guess I own 2. I just don't wear them. Western belts. I'm trying to get a little more wild with my belt game. My belt game is really boring right now. I'm just wearing totally normal, boring belts. I think I just need a little extra. Maybe just more flamboyant belts is what I'm trying to say.
yeah, belts are tough. The Western belt, I assume you're kind of talking about like a traditional looking leather belt, but with like a little like cap on the end of it and sterling silver and maybe a slightly more ornate and curvaceous looking buckle.
I'm not saying that you need to have a buckle that looks like you want a PBR
right,
event.
that's right.
Yeah, that's not the
like
requirement.
Full on like bull riding Texas cowboy belt buckle, but like a Western belt. Yeah. And definitely we're seeing those at places like Drake's and ALD and
I think Drake's is the reason I did this. I think that was the catalyst here.
Maximum Henry, which is a leather brand that's been doing belts since like the hashtag menswear days. Like they just came out with one. So this is definitely something that's happening out there. I love the look as well. I'm really, really like my belt game feels stagnant as well. I've got like a few like kind of cloth ones that I really, really like for warm weather. But then like I haven't been wearing like, you don't get to show off the belt that often.
I know.
Like I'm just not a big tucker.
I'm thinking about becoming a big tucker.
So
I like tucking.
I will say that I've got a couple of pairs of pants. One, the pair from Treasure and Bond Nordstrom House brand that I wore on the podcast,
Uh-huh.
the kind of navy drawstring trouser. And then I just picked up a pair recently of Stussy beach pants
Okay.
on sale.
How are those?
And they're great. They're a nice baggy cut, but I like them a lot. And with both of those pairs of pants, I've done a t-shirt tuck
Yeah.
and really liked the look, but that's with an elastic waist, so no belt necessary.
See, I have a pair of pants that I've been wearing lately. It's just a pair of totally normal, just traditional straight leg slacks. And I think they will look great with the t-shirt tuck. I just have yet to deploy that.
Yeah.
I'm waiting for like a maybe a Sammy's dinner, like a nice dinner, but also an edgy dinner, and maybe just waiting for that. Maybe a Kanye visit, and just making sure that I can do a t-shirt tuck. And
Okay.
I'll probably have to untuck it by the end of the night since my stomach will be like overflowing from mozzarella sticks and or jerk chicken. But
Well, so it sounds like you need to get that Western belt on
I need to get
on
it.
deck.
Oh yeah, oh
You
yeah.
know?
I need to get one. I'm also in a position where I've like my waist has gone down about an inch, so all my belts have the wear and tear,
Mm.
and so like you look at it and it just
Yeah,
looks a little
yes,
sloppy.
Yeah. I
It's
know.
tough.
Yep.
What do you got?
My first one, I'm just gonna start with my wildest one. Okay.
Okay.
All right. I'm pulling it up. I'm pulling up just one shining example. If you're watching with us on YouTube. My first one is Charlie Sheen's overall aesthetic and vibe from the 2000s classic sitcom 2.5 Men.
Did he go into the closet of Portia from White Lotus and just take her wardrobe and just rock with it?
Yeah, this is the most just like egregious example that I could find.
It's perfect.
He didn't typically go with shorts this oversized, and like those shorts are insane, by the way. And the socks with the boat shoes is also just like an unhinged look. But like an episode of this came on in syndication on. I was just flipping channels through YouTube TV.
Just tell us the truth, Barrett. You have it all on DVR. You love the series. You jumped ship when Charlie Sheen had to go.
Okay, I never owned it all on DVD. That I will. I got to draw the line somewhere. But I did love this show.
My dad's a big Berta guy. He thinks Berta's hilarious.
Berta was awesome.
Yeah.
Rest in peace.
Yeah.
And this show kind of holds up as far as sitcoms go.
Does it?
Yeah. Like it's pretty funny.
I believe
And
it. I believe it.
I was out when Charlie Sheen was out. I mean, it was a sad day when the shit hit the fan and it all went south like it did. But so he's doing. He's got socks with the boat shoes here. He typically has more like a pair of like jungle mocks, like Merrill jungle mock style. And then he really, really loves like a pair of khaki cargos that are also too big. But the camp collar, the bowling shirt,
Kinda
and
going
just like the
crazy.
whole like the Malibu beach house and the everything like is just kind of a vibe. And it's not necessarily a vibe that I'm adopting, but I respect it, and I feel like this is okay. Look, we all watch. We love Seinfeld. We know that Kramer is basically like a Bodie muse.
Yeah.
Right. Every time he walks through Jerry's door, you're like, that's a Bodie outfit.
Yeah.
Charlie Sheen, like now that we're moving into like so much like 90s has been really big, and now like Y2K and 2000s is that's what everybody is pulling from. I'm just saying, this is something to look out for. If you want like the next style icon, I think it might be Charlie Sheen.
Okay. I mean, I will listen to this. My dad's going to be psyched. On the same Bodie front, I have two things that kind of fall into this category, or at least I think that Bodie is the reason that we're seeing more and more of this. Two things I have on my in list, one of which is over embroidery. I mean, Bodie is known for the embroidery, for the beading, for whatever. And I think we're seeing it in a lot of places, whether it's a dress cover up for the beach or it is a fun going out shirt.
I mean, shouts to Howler Brothers, right? I think we're
Yes.
sending out an email about embroidered shirts today.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go. You guys are on top of it. The other thing that I had, and I don't know which word to use for this because I'm not big on colors. I'm not very good at describing colors, but like the Merlot, the burgundy, the maroon kind of thing, and I feel like this is Bodie driven as well. Like you've been I don't want to say you've been critical of the color green, but you have questioned why we've all accepted the color green as being like the next thing.
I mean, I love green as much as the next person. I'm just it is more of a kind of a fascination that like we woke up one day and suddenly everything is like dark green.
Correct.
And if there's three colors of something, the one we all want is the green one, and it's just like the color du jour. And I think you said it said it really well. Is that it just kind of like it says like modern luxury, but in like a heritage way.
Yeah.
And then when we talked to Gian a little bit about it after the Nordstrom event as well, and he kind of had like a whole.
He gave the most concise, like impressive answer
He
to
did the
that.
Miranda Priestley
He
on it,
he dunked on
but
us.
in a very concise way, and he was basically like, dark green became the new neutral for guys.
Yeah.
It was like like it's navy, but different.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. And I think burgundy could be a good alternative here, like a really dark one, kind of a deeper color. And I've seen it everywhere from celebrities wearing it out. And like what really made me put it on this list was when I saw Suit Supply sent an email recently and it was all burgundy suits. Like that was the point of the email. And I thought like if they are pumping something like this, they clearly see something going on. And I still maintain that my biggest fear of adopting that color is accidentally looking like the Joker at some point. And so it just scares me a little bit. But I do think that it's something that I'm not opposed to adopting. Not opposed.
I know you have you famously almost put together a Joker outfit for for the Derby. I'll tell you what, I keep like putting things together in my closet and being like looking down and looking, saying I've just put together purple and green. Even today, like this is pink in like this weird kind of shade of yellowish green on my shorts, but it's kind of it's like a pink and green has always worked. That's like a prep staple.
Yeah.
And so like the purple and green is kind of like a nice swerve on that. That looks a little less waspy and a little bit more fashiony. It just does also come with a potential for the for dressing like Joker.
If vintage Range Rovers are made in a certain color, like they definitely have the dark forest green and like the dark burgundy, like they have those rolling around. And I think that there's a reason that people gravitate towards these colors these days. And I think there's numerous reasons, but I definitely think that like the vintage kind of Range Rover, like 90s luxury, just whole feel does aid in that. And I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. I did have on my last out list people using Range Rovers on social media for clout.
Right.
So I can't totally stand that standpoint. What do you got?
Ordering fries as an a la carte side with literally anything.
Yeah. I'm a big fan of this.
Speaking of Bill's Oyster, I was just there on Sunday and we just did oysters on the half shell and like a Caesar salad and also fries.
Yeah.
And when we were at Jack's Wife Freda in New York, we all had like some Mediterranean breakfast stuff and some shakshuka or whatever, and also fries.
Yeah.
And look, they're ubiquitous, but restaurants have gotten it dialed.
Yeah.
This specific fry that's just like crisp, not too thin. It's not a shoestring situation like the divisive Clark's ones. They're just money. They usually come in like a little ceramic dish or some type of paper wrapping in a nice way, and they always hit. They go with anything you want.
The paper like, underneath the fries is such a nice touch.
It's like a nice base. It's like a nice safe base for a meal because you know the fries are going to be good.
Yeah. Yeah. So this has been a big thing for me lately because of the pescatarian stuff. And sometimes at restaurants, if they don't have good options for me, and I don't think I can get full based off of like a side salad or whatever, like the fries have been an immediate order for me, not even having to think about anything.
Yeah.
And so my fry intake has been through the roof, and I'm happy about that. Like if anything, I've started to respect the fry more. Like I have, my respect is just skyrocketing for French fries and having a kid. Like, the pescatarian kid pipeline of just ordering fries at every single meal, it's real. Like I do it every single place.
Get two, one for the Fritz man, one for you.
Oh yeah. I mean, but you have to do it. Like it's just too easy of a thing, and kids love dipping.
Yeah.
And when I dip, he dips, we dip.
We dip. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Are you about to pull something out of a listener
I was thinking about the of something that we're coming up to, and I just wanted to I think there's one on my cards here that touches on it. So I was just, doing some prep work.
Okay.
Where you want to go next? Are we sticking with ins?
Let's knock out our ins first.
Okay.
Yeah, let's get all the ins out.
Okay.
That doesn't feel right to say. I have one for you that is almost a question and not a declaration for me. I have been out of the sneaker game for a bit now, and that's been intentional.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to be deep in that. I don't want to be searching for sneakers at all times. I don't want to be like beating myself up because I couldn't get anything.
Yeah.
But I know that people are getting tired of all the sneakers that you're seeing out these days, the Ons, the Hokas, everything. And so I'm trying to figure out like, okay, what are people going to adopt next? Because like, I don't think people actually dislike some of those sneakers. I think they're just ready to do the next thing. Have Nordas had their moment yet? Are they ever going to have their moment?
So I'm not. It's hard to say. Nordas have definitely not had, quote unquote, had their moment. The biggest reason is because they're like nearly $300.
They're expensive. They're expensive, but that could
And
be
so
a flex.
they
That could be a
can't.
flex for
No,
people.
definitely. But they're not like easily adoptable in that $100 $200 range,
Yeah.
like Hoka or On.
It's like Spalwarts or however you say that.
You know, right? Which are which have been adopted by like On, right, is doing collaborations with South 2 West 8, but also is like on every iBanker in Dallas.
Yeah.
So they've just achieved like mass saturation because of good product, comfort, good colors, and then the price is right. So Norda, I feel like, is automatically a little bit, strapped down by the price.
Yeah.
But as far as like, they really they're kind of almost in that I put them more in like the Solomon kind of area.
Yeah.
But
But I feel like Solomons have been so in for a while now.
yeah, they have, yeah.
That like, I don't.
When they are different looks, like the Norda is very much like it looks more performance is the wrong word, but it looks more like a traditional running shoe.
Yeah.
Whereas Solomon has this kind of almost like this hiking, very trail forward aesthetic.
Yeah, and they've kind of like Solomons just are. I feel like it's. I don't mean this in a bad way, but I feel like they're so expected these days.
Mhm.
Like when I see someone with them on, I'm like, okay,
Yep.
they
Yeah.
clearly read online about style.
Yeah, I mean, to use your phrase, like they have had their moment.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah,
So,
and
yeah.
I'm still okay with them being here. They're not on my out list. I still enjoy some Solomons, and the fact that Hailey Bieber's still wearing them around, and she's actually wearing her Asics.
Mm-hmm.
She's been rocking the Asics lately, which tells me that those aren't going anywhere anytime soon.
That's right.
But Asics for me are just a little too like I think they look good on other people. They're not a shoe that I want to look down at on my feet.
Yeah.
And that's most shoes for me at this point, and I don't know why. What do you got?
You want me to can I lump a few together here?
Yeah.
Because I've got some ones that all involve a little bit in nightlife action.
Okay.
So I'm gonna rip through these, and then we can kind of discuss at large, and maybe you've got something similar. I'm gonna start with my most the one that has the potential to ruffle the most feathers on this podcast, because it kind of goes against a Sunday Scaries tent pole, if you will.
Oh, sign me up.
Yeah. Keeping your plans.
Yeesh. I need to get in on that.
I just
I've actually been better. I've been better lately.
I don't know. For me personally, there's like nothing more nothing look, I'm not saying that like nights in aren't awesome, but if you want a night in, schedule a night in.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's no reason to have to cancel plans for your night in. Like there's 2 or 3 nights in a weekend, sometimes more than that, right? Like, so I like connecting with other people. You know what I mean? And so like, I don't generally, if I go out to dinner or if I go get drinks or whatever it is, I don't come home or I don't wake up the next morning and say, shouldn't have done that.
It's true.
You know what I mean?
It's true.
So I'm
It's
just,
true.
and I feel like, I had this joke with a buddy, Jordan, and I think this was 2022, but it might've been 2021. We were joking about like a year of yes. 2023 is like the first year where that is actually possible.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know,
And
we're fully back. And so I'm just like, it goes with kind of the trip thing I was saying. Like, I'm out there, Jerry, and I'm loving every minute.
You're
of it.
antsy. You're antsy.
Yeah,
right
I'm
now.
antsy. Yeah.
I feel the same way. I feel like last year I spent a lot of the year still having like a little bit of social anxiety when it came to going out and doing stuff. Like I still wasn't totally used to like fully diving into places. You were still kind of being told about certain limitations, or just kind of like you weren't in I wasn't in the mentality of going out and doing stuff. And I feel like this year I've been out doing stuff more than ever, like concerts, dinners, just random drinks with people. Like I just feel more social than ever.
Yeah.
And now I feel like I'm almost going too full bore, and I'm going out like all the time.
No, I feel that, and I'm basically this. Yeah, my keeping the plans bullet point here basically is like me saying that I'm going to ride that wave until I burn out on it.
Yeah. I'm worried that like I'm close to burnout, but I also see a very big opening on the horizon for me where I don't have a ton of plans.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to keep it that way.
Yeah.
And so I think I will be better at keeping plans in Austin once that opening happens. The travel opening, not doing as much travel. I just need to get through the summer.
The to piggyback on that one, I posted about this on Instagram. I shared a reel on it. 2 location evenings.
I love it.
This is the best. And it doesn't have to be a bar. It doesn't have to be, it means that you're doing 2 things in one night. It can be having drinks at your place before or after dinner. It can be having a cocktail at one bar and then going to dinner. It can be having dinner and then going to a cocktail bar. You can be going to 2 bars.
Yeah.
Try out 2 new bars if you want.
You're wild.
But I just remember back in the halcyon days of our youth, when that was more of like an automatic, and now it's fewer and further between. But like when somebody's like, "So y'all want to get another drink?" It's just like my soul is like lifted out of my body because I know that like the good shit's about to happen.
You Ubering or you walking?
Anything.
I'd prefer to go somewhere very close to the
Very
first
close
location.
that's how
I want the immediate gratification.
that is how you get people into the fold,
Yeah.
is to make it easy as possible,
Yeah.
which means walking.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, having the Uber or the drive in there definitely throws it like that. That's a barrier. That's an obstacle. And then the third thing that goes in with my going out ins is listening bars or listening rooms.
Okay. Yeah. Those are, you're right. You're right about this. That's something I haven't really thought about.
I'm pretty sure there's only one in Austin. It's very new. It's called the Equipment Room.
Okay.
But when I was in Todos Santos in February at the Baja San Cristobal, I think I talked about on this podcast, their little record room, which was like, you bring your cocktail, you bring your wine in there, and they've just got a record player and like a shitload of records to choose from. And that's the listening bars or listening rooms. It's basically like taking that concept and making it.
Have you been to the Equipment Room?
I've not been yet. No.
Can I go with you?
Definitely.
Thank you.
And then the other thing that I'm pulling from here is that these are all over the place in like very cool neighborhoods in Tokyo and the rest of Japan, because I think that's where they were invented.
And everyone's obsessed with Japan, so
Yeah.
it's inevitable.
Yeah.
It's inevitable.
But the idea of like going somewhere and there's just like, a very expensive record setup and people are like taking turns picking records while you sip on your white Negroni, because it's
Yep.
a white Negroni summer. Not
Yep.
on my list because we already know it.
Yeah, we don't. That'd be
But
overkill.
yeah, I'm bullish on these, and I'm very excited to try the Equipment Room in Austin.
Yeah, I'm very down for that, especially given my recent foray into the vinyl game.
Into the vinyl game. Yeah,
It's the only thing that has surpassed my going out budget and my clothing budget in the last like 3 years. Like, I cannot believe how much of a gateway drug buying a turntable is. Like, I am just immediately shot in. Every day I go to lunch, I'm like, what if I just popped into a store and made this $10 lunch into a $40 lunch and just went and got an album right now?
Yeah.
Totally pointless. Totally pointless. Ugh. I have 2 things here that I actually can probably lump together as well. I'm saying this because so many people, I already had this on my list and we've already talked about it. It doesn't really need to be talked about for a long time, but so many people submitted this on the form that I put on Instagram. And it's just, everyone said linen. Linen.
So linen is also on my in list. I actually moved it to just my like, I'm just going to say the word linen because I figured that a lot of people would submit this.
Yeah.
And we've already kind of talked about it a couple weeks ago with the Europe Core thing.
I want to add on to this though.
But so yeah, everybody is correct. This is huge right now.
I feel as though seersucker is for the first time in 15 years becoming like, people are kind of into it and people are buying it. People are making things in it at a more rapid clip than they were before.
Yeah. And
I'm not saying like the blue and white stripe.
Exactly. And that's
it's
the
everything
obvious difference.
else. Yeah.
Is it's just they've been like, I think that people have come back to the fabric and being like, this feels awesome. It's super nice. It's crepey. It's got texture. It's got the pucker, and just being like, hey, it doesn't have to be in blue and white.
And as everyone knows, I wish list cucked you and bought some. I bought a pair of seersucker shorts that Barrett had on his wish list, and I have to admit, I'm very happy with that purchase. So I will be staying with that. Another thing that I had was just crochet everything. Whether it's a bucket hat like Portia from White Lotus, like I mentioned earlier, the tote bags that you've been seeing. I feel like every influencer out there has a crochet bag in some way. And there were people saying that the Loewe said it correctly, not to brag.
Yeah.
I forget what they were called, like basket bags or
Yeah,
something, are out.
The beach bag
Are
thing.
out.
Yeah.
But I still think that crochet bags are in. And I had this on my list before Ame sent out their email with the restock, or I guess just regular stock of their crochet bags. So I feel as though that's justified.
The quickness with which those sold out, and then the fervor around the general online community about like trying to get their hands on them, I found that surprising.
I thought about getting one for Sally. Her
just
birthday's in a couple weeks, and I thought about getting one for her because it actually makes sense for what she would need.
Yeah.
And then I didn't do it. And then about 10 minutes later, I was like, you know what? I'm just going to get it for her. I don't have anything else for her birthday right now. I'm just going to do it. And I went back on, and I was like, oh, never mind. Okay.
Yeah. They were maybe one of the quickest sellouts of the season outside of like the lace Rico shirts and like a few other items that were obvious kind of big hitters. But I guess I shouldn't have been surprised because as we mentioned, crochet is everywhere.
Yeah, it's been a very popular thing, and I don't think
I'm not suggesting that we pull it off the in list. I will say, get your crochet and use the shit of it this summer. I'm not saying that it's like, I think it's hot enough and I think it's big enough, and I think that the general like look of things and the Europe core, like I think it will be around for probably another year or two. But like it's peaking right now.
Don't wait till sale season.
Yeah, and it's like it's becoming ubiquitous, and everybody is in on it. So like now is the time. Like don't wait. Get your wares in.
Yep.
Put the miles on it, and get ready for whatever is coming next. Because this won't be the thing forever.
Yeah. Barrett, I don't have any more ins on my list right now because a lot of some of the other things that I could have included are definitely in some listener submitted things that require additional conversation.
One quick one that is like, I kind of pulled it off my main one. I just wanted to give props to. I don't even know if this is something, this might have been a regular Scaries thing. You posted about like a salty snack board, basically, like the 3 salty snacks.
Yeah.
You need a nut, you need a chip, and you need like a pickle.
An olive, yeah.
An olive or a pickle.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I had my parents coming in that weekend, and I was serving them white Negronis, and I did my own little version of this, and I did pistachios. I did like a angry pickle and gherkin mix and olive mix.
Speaking my language.
And then I did big shouts to Hal's jalapeno New York style chips.
Beautiful.
Absolutely goated jalapeno chip. They're incredible. And it was a smashing hit. And like, no matter what you went for, it was just literally the perfect thing to accompany a cocktail. So I just wanted to gas that up because it's a no brainer, and it's so easy, and it's like, it looks impressive when you put it down on a table for people.
Everyone needs to go out there and buy some small dishes while you still can.
Yeah.
These are going to be selling out faster than low bowls after we talked about those.
So I'm definitely on that grind. And then so to get back to my list, let's see.
Well, I will say I employed this as well recently, Barrett. I had a friend over the other day. To no one's surprise, after the Dallas Den & Co. Show, Sally backed out of going to San Francisco with me. So I had a buddy over who's going to go with me to San Francisco. And I didn't really know what to have out for him, but I knew I needed to have something out with our beers. And we were planning our trip and watching the Champions League final. And I was like, you know what? It's time for some salty chips, some olives. Unfortunately, I did not have any nuts. And so I had to just go 2 out of the 3.
Two. Yeah.
But I mean, it was just sitting there, just gnawing on olive pits with the boys. Nothing feels better. Nothing feels better.
The last thing on my end list is the low-key cult fandom of Jeopardy.
Okay. I saw a shirt the other day that said, "Do not call me at 7 p.m. I'm watching Jeopardy."
Is this not popping up everywhere for you? I'll just be like talking to people, and they'll be like, "Yeah, we record Jeopardy every day, and then we watch it later."
I just feel like there's Jeopardy people.
There
You
are
either
Jeopardy
you
people.
grew up a Jeopardy person or you didn't.
Well, I think it's rapidly expanding.
Who's our host these days? Ken?
It's a rotating host right now between Ken Jennings and Mayim Bialik.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, okay. I'm in.
Do you ever watch Jeopardy? Like,
not anymore.
I am not DVRing it religiously yet, but I think I might, because every time I do catch it, I'm like, I love this.
I used to watch it every day with my parents. Like every single night, like my mom would start cooking dinner.
Do your parents still watch it every day?
Probably, if I had to guess. I mean, we would do dinner at my mom would start making dinner at 6 o'clock, and by the time dinner was ready, it'd be 7 p.m. and we'd all sit down and just crush some Jeopardy.
Like, I've got maybe a sneaking suspicion that trivia nights are on their way back to popularity.
Okay. I can see that.
I don't know. I just feel like
I've never been a trivia night guy.
I feel like knowing stuff is in.
Randy, are you good at trivia night?
I've only been to like one or two, but you have famously both of you on Do You Know It, a game show
It's
podcast
true.
That's right. Yeah.
on Watch
Yeah.
Media.
It's true. It's
Yeah.
true.
Yeah, I don't know, the Jeopardy thing just it seems to keep popping up, and I'm just kind of here for it. And it just I'm also acknowledging that I feel like there's like this is like it's a wide swath of people that are just like big Jeopardy fans, and maybe you don't even know it.
But I mean, Jeopardy's not nearly as popular as like the other most famous show right now, The Idol.
Yeah, I mean, who's can you even put like a number on
No,
the,
I think
the
HBO's
popularity
having
of The
trouble.
Idol?
I
Yeah.
think they're having trouble keeping track of the analytics here. I'm halfway through episode 2, and I don't know if it's going to get finished.
Yeah, Ross and I have really been having some laughs at the expense of The Idol. So.
I might need to get in a group chat with the only other 2 people I know
Yeah.
who are watching it, you and Ross. So, should we move to our out list, Barrett?
Yeah, let's go to the outs.
My number 1 on my out list, and this is mainly because I'm tired of it. I'm sick of it, and I'm tired of dealing with it. Restaurant reservations. I'm going to places that you can walk into, or I'm just going to go to a place that requires reservations and hope that they have a spot.
Yeah,
And if they
yeah.
don't, then I'm just going to wait until there's a bar spot open, and I'm going to sit there and I'm going to do it. But it's all about the best ability is availability, and I'm tired of booking stuff months in advance. I'm tired of everyone doing it. It needs to get out of vogue. I need Open Table to come up with a way of making sure that people can only have one reservation on one night at one time. They're never going to do it, but that's what I want.
Well, so you already can't have overlapping reservations via one app.
You can't?
You cannot.
Okay. I
Like,
wouldn't
you
know
could-
because
like,
I don't do that.
You cannot have like a Saturday reservation at 7 for Sammy's, and then on the same app have a 7:30
Okay.
for another restaurant.
Okay, good to know.
Yeah.
Good to know.
But
good
you
to know.
can do you can combine, you can mix apps, and that's how you can have multiple.
Okay. Okay.
If you have
Because
one on top,
it's
one on
just become
Resi,
too
one
much.
on
It's
yeah.
become too much. It's just it's a little annoying to like just know that. Like we were looking for a reservation the other day, and I thought to myself, you know what? Sally's probably already got one that would actually work for this. And sure enough, she did. And she was like, "Yeah, you can have it." It's like cool.
Yeah, yeah. And the more like if we don't all band together, because here's the thing. Here's the thing. I was not doing this. I was not on my grind, like looking out, just like casually booking stuff 4 to 6 to 8 weeks in advance. But then, like, you know, with my keeping plans thing
Yeah.
here, I started
Pressure.
to do it
It's pressure.
because I wanted to make plans. I wanted to have these dates on the calendar, and I wanted to be able to invite people to dinner and not be like, yeah, I guess we're going to Chili's on 45th.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
So
Yep.
like, so it's
No offense, Randy. We know how you ride for Chili's on 45th.
it is it is tough. It is tough.
It's-
Speaking of Randy, I had some coworkers try to go to Chili's on 45th for lunch on Friday. 30-minute wait. So I think the cat's out of the bag.
It's the Randy effect.
Yeah. Okay. First on my out list, the phrase "wear what you like."
Just the phrase itself.
Yeah, and I'm gonna elaborate here, but first I just wanted to just put it out there. All right, so this comes up a lot in fashion communities and style forums and Reddits and wherever else in person. Somebody gives a take on something that is out or in fashion or out of fashion, and somebody that still feels keen on that, their response is, well, you should just wear what you like.
Yeah, where were you like?
You know? And I it's not that I disagree with the sentiment of the idea, because guess what? I wear what I like. And I think that other people should do the same. It's specifically that it is not a good rebuttal in the conversation about things being in or out, nor is it like a
It doesn't help anybody.
nor is it a good justification for why you're still doing something and other people are not. Because it just like, it rejects like it. Okay. I'm going to bring up skinny jeans here as an example.
Okay.
Some guys still like and wear skinny jeans. And if you say they're out, like baggy pants is that's what people are going towards. It looks better. They're like, I'm still in on skinny jeans. I think you should just wear what you like. But it's rejecting the fact that the only reason that they are wearing skinny jeans in the first place is because they eventually caught up to a trend.
True.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
yeah.
it's like you're eschewing that it's got this idea, this latent idea, under it that you're eschewing trends. You're not participating in the trend cycle. You are not giving something up just to jump to the next wave of something.
Yeah.
But the only reason that you are on that first wave to begin with is because you eventually moved.
But I also think that the people that end up saying that, which is not an incorrect statement, like you should wear what you like.
That's what yeah.
But like the people that are saying that are also, they're just resistant to change in terms of what they're doing, and they want to deny you of that.
Right. And so
Which is whatever.
I don't like it as a piece of the dialogue when it comes to trends, because whether you think you're participating in a trend cycle or not, like you got there eventually because it eventually worked its way to you.
Yeah. Because dudes have certainly not been wearing skinny jeans forever. And like, yeah, the fact that everyone's wearing a much more tailored fit, like in the last few years, like however long, like it's, you're right. It's because of the fads. I have a phrase that I can pair along with this. I'm so sick, and this is really due to the online menswear crowd. I need the phrase cooked to kick rocks. The phrase cooked is cooked. People are throwing it out there. They're using it for everything. It's another way of just saying that things are out. But like, people are throwing it around like it is just like, I don't know, the cat's pajamas. Like, it's just, it does not need to be thrown out there all the time. It's like, oh, sambas, they're cooked. They're not cooked. They're just really popular right now, and everyone's beating them into the ground. But they're going to be normal for a very long time, and they've been normal since I was 8 years old.
What is our replacement for cooked?
We're gonna have to figure that out. I just don't like cooked. And also,
you feel like it's being overused.
isn't something being cooked good? You want?
I don't. I mean, what about sushi?
Like, damn, that's raw.
Like that's
no. Is it raw? Should we just pivot to raw or cooked?
Yeah, both can be good.
Yeah, we can actually make this work. Actually, maybe cook's in.
I want raw fish. I don't want raw chicken.
It's true. It's true. Yeah, I don't. It's just there's something about the word that has really rubbed me the wrong way, and it's caused me to like unfollow people because I'm like, okay, if you're throwing out cooked, then you're just like looking for takes.
Can we? I'm skipping a little bit ahead because I saw this on the list of outs for our from our listener submissions. And I don't know how to feel about it, but we should talk about it since we're talking phrases. I saw out, it's giving.
Yes, I enjoyed this. We had numerous people submit this.
Yeah.
I feel as though it is out because I feel as though the older generation is starting to adopt it.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to at anybody,
It's
but
fair. Totally
I have heard some people that I would not consider to be in my generation say it, and I thought to myself, you're either very current or this has really reached levels that I never thought it could.
This specific, I mean, cooked is kind of a little bit like this, but I think is more like part of general jargon and conversation than it's giving, which is very much like started out as like an online thing, right? But it's the same as like it's the blank for me.
Yeah. Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Like eventually these things do just permeate the culture.
It's a weird moment when you realize that it's permeated yourself. Like you say it.
Yeah. No, and I use and it probably is out because I use it without any sense of like irony or like, you know, kind of like giggling to myself about like I'm doing the thing.
I saw a tweet
it's
the
just
other
like
day.
A thing that's part of the lexicon now, and I use it. And it's probably out. That probably means it's out.
I saw a tweet the other day that was about a girl who was leaving at her apartment building in New York City. And somebody was like, I just heard a girl say, quote, it's giving jacket when she walked out and it was a little chilly outside. And I was like, yeah, maybe it has gone too far. Another phrase I have is just dubbing things the blank of the summer. We're guilty of this.
Yeah.
But I don't fault us for this because I feel as though we are doing it in a genuine way. We're trying to find something that we can latch. I like latching onto things with my friend group that we just drive into the ground. It's fun for me. I like having a common thread that we can bond over. Or like a common, like when people start ordering a round of drinks at a restaurant and like suddenly 3 people have ordered a white Negroni and I'm sitting there drinking like a regular Negroni, I'm like, well, sir, switch that to a white Negroni. But like when I start seeing people like Wall Street Journal or like New York Times or these major publications being like, what's the blank of the summer going to be? I'm like, okay, maybe we're taking this a little too far. Maybe we should only be able to talk about this after Labor Day. Like, I think Labor Day needs to happen, and then we can say, you know what it was?
Then we postmortem.
Yeah.
Yep. That's fair. That's fair.
It might be the Hugo Spritz this year. We'll talk about those later.
Okay. Here's another one on my out list. This is recency bias and topical and probably doesn't belong here, but felt the need to put it on here. Men's tennis players under the age of 35.
Dude, it's hard to watch the new guys. Yeah, stop. Like, go back in time.
Like I don't understand. You pull up the winners of the majors in tennis going back to about 2003. And it's like fewer than 10 have been won by somebody other than Djokovic, Federer, and Nadal. These guys are all in their late 30s. They're pushing 40, and nobody can win.
Nadal's won.
Nobody can take these guys down.
Nadal's got 14 French Open. 14. I've never done 14 of anything in my life.
Obviously, like I just watched Djokovic get 23 at the French Open on Sunday, and like I love watching greatness. It's fun. It's great. I love when people are amazing, but like this is absurd.
Yeah,
what is happening?
The young guns need to figure this out.
What are they doing?
Yeah, this is on them. Like they gotta sort this out.
And it also makes me like I know golf like has like a lot more like luck and like it's just a different game, right? You cannot just be the best athlete and win all the golf.
You can't wear
tournaments.
down your opponent unless you're in the Masters and you're just playing as slow as possible. But like it's far more difficult to wear down your opponent in golf than it is like any other sport.
But you look at like the domination in tennis, and it's frankly it's like kind of boring.
Yeah.
Like, because when there's domination in golf, it means that you win like one major a year, maybe.
But if Federer's still winning, I'm still like all in. I'm like pumped up about it. But now that it's like Djokovic doing it, I'm like, okay, yeah, get him out of here. I'm Casper Ruud #1 super fan.
Yeah, but I don't get it, and I'm putting all the men's tennis players under 35 on blast.
I respect that.
Do better.
I respect that.
What you got next?
Not happy about what I'm about to do. This has been something that's been near and dear to this podcast. We've entertained it. We've done it. I've simply seen too much, and it's gotten so out of hand that I feel like people are forcing it now. Piles of caviar everywhere. Where like it's just it's enough. It's enough. It had its moment during the winter, during the colder months, during the sexy dark time of the year when no one's like out doing anything.
Well, caviar was the food of the winter.
Yeah, and so now that summer's here, caviar's got to be on the back burner. Maybe that's my thing. Maybe oysters for me are the summer in, and caviar is the winter in for me. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe this fishy like kind of just like I don't know, salty enjoyment that I have. Maybe these are just two separated things that I need to get an understanding for.
Yeah.
But the amount of caviar that I'm seeing on influencer stories, everything, it's just gotten out of hand. And it's gotten to the point where I'm like, I don't even think you like caviar that much. I think you just want to put it on your story.
It looks good on the gram.
Yeah. I would like to just find like a giant tub of caviar and just stick my entire arm in it and just see what it feels like to just like move it around. I feel like it'd be a very interesting feeling.
It would be like the Halloween game that you play with when you're little at haunted houses, and then you have to like put your hand in the spaghetti and they're like it's guts.
Yeah. I mean, this is hard for me to do because like my favorite episode of Frasier is the episode called Road to Perdition, where they find a black market caviar dealer so they can get cheaper caviar, and it's truly one of the best.
Sound very on brand.
It's one of the best episodes of television I've ever seen. And so while I'm not like saying caviar in general is out, I might just be saying put like the public display of caviar seems a little unnecessary at this point, and it feels a little forced.
I'm only disappointed that we didn't have our moment to post caviar on the gram though before we put it.
I got you on the gram doing a caviar bump.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah,
that's
if you go to retail.pod.
That's right.
Yeah,
you're right.
Good.
You're right.
We're good.
I did have my moment in the.
I'm changing it from caviar to public displays of caviar.
In the fishy sun. Okay, I'll give you an inflammatory one as well to on the tails of that. Out Patagonia baggies.
Barrett, this has been something near and dear to me for a very long time. And so it's with a lot of reluctance that I say, I agree.
Yeah.
I've been wearing them for well over a decade, and I have not worn or bought a new pair of them in probably 5 years, and it's because I just am over it.
And I don't want to take away from like, their performance aspects for water-based days and events, like it's a good short if you want it to be a swim short.
Yeah.
But just the idea of like Patagonia baggies as like your go-to summer short, they're not that good.
There's been too much of an advancement.
The pockets are bad.
Yeah.
Like, bro, I can see your keys falling out from the 5-inch inseam.
The pockets are the worst part. The pockets are the worst part. They go too deep.
They're too deep, and then the fit is like kind of overly generous now at this point, I feel like.
It's been a while. I haven't bought so like my favorite baggies that I have, I've weathered. They've aged like a fine wine.
Yeah.
And I'm really trying to stick with that. But like I said, I mean, they are not even a thought of mine when I'm packing for a trip anymore. They're not even a thought of mine to go out to the pool with.
Well, and you hit a nice note that I was going to touch on as well, is that I just feel like the technology has advanced and like there are just much better nylon shorts out there now.
Yeah, yeah. And
Yeah.
like I think like athleisure and everything like that has kind of replaced the need to have a pair of Patagonia baggies.
Yeah.
If I was doing something actually like Gorp like adjacent,
Yeah.
I could understand doing that. And I might do that just for the headiness of having the Patagonia logo on the shorts. But
Right.
like I never wear them anymore. This is hard. This makes me feel like there's part of me that's dead inside thinking about this. My final out's pretty not non-controversial, I'd say. Just tech advancements. We gotta chill.
So also on my out list is AI.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like AI,
Stop.
Chat GPT, like everything, like these Apple goggles. Like we don't need all this. This is just a little unnecessary. Maybe we just like
Pump the brakes.
Yeah.
If you are a scientist out there and you're listening to Retail Therapy and you happen to work on AI, do something else. Get a new job.
that won't get
You-
taken by what you're doing now.
Yeah.
But it probably will.
Yeah. I don't know. Use your intelligence in your brains for not artificial intelligence, maybe. I don't know. It just seems like a terrible idea.
I just feel like we're flying directly into the sun.
Yeah,
and I feel like we
yes.
just got to pump the brakes a little bit.
Yeah.
Like we need the new season of Black Mirror to come out so that we're all like, oh, this is why we're not going full bore on this stuff.
I want to slam on the brakes. I want to
Yeah.
stop developing AI.
I liked it better when people were trying to like get rid of their cell phones and
What is the-
downgrade. And
what
now,
is the-
now we're wearing like Oakley ski goggles on our fucking couch. It's crazy.
What is the best thing that AI hath wrought? Has like the Spotify DJ function? What does it do?
I don't know.
You know?
I think the biggest leap in technology that we saw for a really long time was the ability of Pandora to decide what song you're listening to. Like that blew my mind when iPhones came out.
Oh, you mean Shazam?
Shazam, yeah.
Yeah,
Sorry. And now that like that's like old news, like now we're just taking things way too far.
Yeah. Yes, definitely with you there. I had a couple of just kind of like throw-ins here. I mentioned tennis. Now that was specifically on the players. There was a tweet from our old buddy, old pal, John Duda. He was watching the playoff between Tommy Ladd and who's the Canadian one? Nick Taylor? Something like that? Taylor?
Didn't watch. Sorry to my Canadian friends. I love you up there.
And I saw a tweet from him, and he was thinking exactly what I was thinking, or something that I had thought. It's just like the pants in this playoff are just bad. And so
Golf attire in general is
my
bad.
out is the fact that is the tour lagging so far behind trends.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like
Golf
are-
is the worst.
If we were putting the graphs next to each other, it'd be like they caught the tour, the players, they finally started wearing slimmer golf pants, like right on the tail end of slim pants being in.
Yeah.
And so now the pendulum has swung back like nearly in the completely the other way.
Yeah.
And like the golf pants are just getting like skinnier and skinnier on these guys.
It's
And
not good.
It's bad.
We've had a lot of people reach out to us via DM, a lot of guys, some ladies too, who have said that they would like our takes on better, more upgraded, more aesthetic golf gear.
Mm.
Like I simply don't have it for you. Like I have certain things that I think are good and that I
Yeah.
like, but I don't think the golf has gotten there yet. Like there's cool brands out there, but like we're
Yes.
still a little far away from like getting away from the old mentality of how people dress playing golf to where we need to be now.
Well, and here's here's a piece of this that surprises me is that like there's not a guy out there on tour that like also happens to be a bit of a fashion plate and is like working with Nike or Adidas or whoever his sponsor is and being like, yo, the pants have to be wider. Make my pants wider. Like, how is there not a guy that's got kind of like pushing his own envelope out there?
Adam Scott, he's been going earth tone wide leg pants, all Uniqlo.
Okay.
And while he might go a little too heavy on the tans every once in a while, and
Uh-huh.
maybe a little too like everything tan, I do think that he's got the best grasp on like what could be next for golf.
Okay.
And maybe Uniqlo is where I need to go to actually maybe check out some new
Yeah.
golf gear. But I feel like anytime I see something Uniqlo, whether it's on a tennis court or whether it's on a golf course, I go to their website and I can't buy it there. And I'm like, okay, cool. This is for the professional athletes only. Perfect.
Last on my list, and actually this is one that I meant to kind of tie together with both of my in and out list. It's a good time to do it now because I had this both on my in list and on my out list. Going into the office.
Wow. So you're on your Martha Stewart grind right now.
I think everybody should be going into the office some. You're missing out, man. You're tying your home to your work and it's killing your brain.
I agree.
if work is a prison or if it's a hamster wheel, you are making your home the prison or the hamster wheel.
You need to leave your job.
You got to get back. The office is important for a variety of reasons, but one of the easiest one to pitch you on is that like it keeps work.
Yeah.
You have something to leave. You have something to break from. You're not sitting there surrounded by the stresses of your daily life and your pets and your other things and your TV and your got to do this and I got to do that and also this is my office and like that's just too much.
I agree.
You got to separate. Also, out going to the office because nobody should have to go to the office.
Yeah.
Like right, like
Yeah.
that. You know, so I'm just out here pitching moderation on the office thing, but mostly to say if you're 100% work from home, I think you should stop.
I agree. I got some blowback for posting Martha Stewart in a meme recently, and people were like, "Oh, after what she said," and I'm like, "What? That you need to go to the office? Like, she's worth $400 million. I'm not going to tell her how to run her business. Like, she is a boss bitch."
Yeah. And I don't know if it was specifically coming from younger listeners that gave you pushback on that, but that's who it's most important for.
Yeah.
If you're new to your career, if you are in your first 5 years, you definitely should be going to the office.
Oh yeah. The things you can learn from coworkers, or like the things you can
just
pick up on, the rapport you have with people.
When it comes time for career advancement, like who do you think's getting promoted?
Face-to-face people.
Face-to-face people, or the person that's on Zoom 24/7?
Showing up is a very big thing.
Yeah, and I think that I totally get. That's why it's on my outlist as well. I totally get like the butts in the seats thing should be deaded for good as well. But I think that you should go to the office a little bit.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
I think it's good for your mentals.
Should we go through some listener submitted ins and outs?
Let's do some listener
Okay.
ones.
The first, let's go with the ins. I'm going to rattle some of these off. If you want to stop me, if you want to go into them, feel free. Tennis attire. I feel like tennis attire has always been in, especially during the summertime.
Yeah.
I feel like people have been commandeering the tennis aesthetic for a long time.
I do think it's got I think it's got some weight behind it though. I think I know what you mean. I think I understand that in. Yeah.
I saw a ton of tennis skirts when we were in New York. And those are very popular.
Yeah.
Everything linen. That was by far the most submitted thing. People are loving linen. The Sophia Richie effect from her wedding when she was wearing that all white thing. I think the ripple effect, we still have yet to see how far that will go. Off-brand spritzes, meaning what is in is not Aperol spritzes, is what people are saying. People are over having Aperol spritzes.
Can you remind the me and the friends out there what a Hugo spritz is?
I can. It's got elderflower liqueur. I think Saint Germain or Saint Germain, however you want to say it. It has 1 sprig of mint, 4 ounces of prosecco, 1 ounce soda water, and that's it. I had this for the first time last September in Italy.
Right.
And when I had one, I thought to myself, that is the best thing. That's the best cocktail I've had in forever. And I hope that they catch on here. And a lot of people submitted Hugo Spritz as being in.
Okay.
So I'm happy about this. People said Portugal.
Yeah.
I've had several friends go to Portugal, and all of them have said, "Oh yeah, it's way cheaper to go there than going to these other places, and it's just as awesome."
I'm worried that Portugal is very high on my list. It's a possible honeymoon destination for us. Hope it doesn't jump the shark.
Hope so too.
Before I get a chance to be out there. But I mean, really, I'm just on my Nazare shit. Like, shouts to 100 Foot Wave. Like, I gotta see those bad boys pouring in. So
I was going to put on my in list appropriating surf culture and just like, I have been doing it since I was a little kid, buying Surfer Mag when I was at the Hudson News with my parents. But I feel like surfing is really going to have a moment this summer. Jalapeno rosé, that seems to be popping up. I've seen people do that. People were out on spicy margs this year. Pasta salad, potato salad. People were even in on
potato salad.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sally made a homemade potato salad the other day that really changed the way I looked at potato salad forever.
Red potatoes?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Fine line tattoos. Breezy light overshirts. This was also a very popular one, using just a linen shirt or kind of a breezy shirt.
Yeah.
As just like I'm going to toss this on and go out.
Yeah.
I recently bought something from Alex Mill when we were in New York that looks like it would be a jacket, almost like a canvas like army jacket, but it's just navy blue linen, and it is awesome for this type of thing. So I'm very in on this. People had boxers as shorts, over sunblocking. Rum. I think rum is going to, or people have theorized that rum will be the next like high-end liquor that people will be clamoring for.
I've always been a rum guy. It's like even, when we were talking Derby, I mentioned how I've had my swings with bourbon. Rum, always great.
Yeah.
Love like a nice, like, now, if you're thinking rum, if I've said rum and your mind is going to like Bacardi,
No.
you're thinking of the wrong
No.
rum.
No.
I'm talking dark rum, Mount Gay,
Yeah.
Florida, like a true Caribbean or Barbadian rum. Like,
Match that Havana
that's what we're
Club
talking
button.
about. Yeah.
And then to finish out the list, we also had hiking, cheek kisses, affogatos, which I think are very popular right now, naked nails, and overdressing.
I wonder if the cheek kissing submitted there to the Instagram was the same New York podcast listener that said in kisses on cheeks, out light mode on your phone. Everybody's on that dark mode wave.
I'm even on the dark mode, and
Yeah.
I resisted for a very long time. It took me way too long to go from surfing Twitter with light mode on to dark mode. Randy, are you light or dark mode on Twitter?
I'm light mode still. Dark mode's for programs for me as an editor. I can't. I separate it.
That's understandable. That's understandable.
It's called social media going to the office.
Okay.
I keep it separate.
Okay. I respect that.
Let's see. Some ins from the New York event. We had Western wear. We had still rosé. People is rosé like is the trend cycle coming all the way back around? Are we going back in on the rosé?
I still feel like orange and skin contact wines are going to dominate rosé this year.
5:30 p.m. dinner reservations. I think that's probably because that's what you can get.
That's all you can get these days. Yeah, we're forcing that one.
I like this one. Buying weed from women.
Okay. Yeah, let's get
shouts to all the female weed dealers out
there.
there.
There needs to be more female weed dealers. Did you ever watch High Maintenance?
Yeah.
I enjoyed that show a lot for an extended period of time, and I didn't watch the most recent season, and I fear that like I was one of the many people that ended up getting it canceled because no one watched.
I've got British and Australian accents. When are those not in?
Yeah, those are always in.
Right. Being a fan of your own friends. Reeboks is the new Sambas. Let's see. Newsletters. Shouts to the Sunday Digest.
Major shouts.
Yeah, that's what I've got.
Should we hit the outs for the listener submissions?
Let's go outs.
Heels.
Laura mentioned this. Laura said that heels were out.
I'm okay with this. I've never been a heel guy. I think it does make it does. I mean, I know they're not wearing them for the male guys, but I always like to see someone be comfortable, and heels do not offer that all the time.
Do you think that do you think that like heels are just out as like are we talking like kind of chunky block-heeled sandals and wedges as far as like casual wear? Or are we just like saying like even when I'm going out like dressed to the nines, I'm putting on flats?
I just want flats all the time.
Yeah.
I want people to be comfortable. I want to be able to walk from restaurant A to second location B and not have to worry about people lagging behind or like tripping. Like we don't need we already have bird scooters taking people's lips and like wrists out. We don't need heels doing it anymore.
Yeah.
I don't even know how to say this. And I've evaded trying to say this word for months now. It's the shoe, the Vejas? Vejas?
Yeah, Veja, I think.
Veja?
Mm-hmm.
People are out on those. The Hamptons. People are saying it's too crowded these days.
I mean, we were having to have our bladders injected with Botox.
Yeah, I got this Botox for no reason.
Just to make the car ride out there. So yeah. I would say it's gotten too crowded.
Hard seltzers?
Okay. Yeah. I mean, sure. But I will say that I did have one White Claw. No, it was a Truly this past week.
Wow.
It was like my last drink of the night. I was like kind of beered out. We had finished a bottle of wine and I had a Truly. It's good, man. I like it. Sometimes it's what you need.
My buddy just started working for White Claw. And so we had a cooler in Michigan full of a bunch of White Claws that were varieties that I had never even seen before.
Like
and I have to say,
he had that unreleased shit.
The things that White Claw's doing with seltzers, it's truly amazing. Like I don't know if I understand why people would be out on them. They really did have their moment like 2 years ago, but I feel as though they're still going to exist.
They serve a purpose.
Yeah,
they're a functional workhorse.
Yeah.
And I think we can all live with that.
This next one, I think I've heard Barrett discuss. I don't know how you feel about it currently, but wearing shorts out, no matter how hot it is, out.
Yeah. I said up top on the podcast, or maybe I didn't, but this weekend and going into next week, we have highs, according to my Weather Channel app, of 104, 104, 105, 106, 104. Look, that's shorts weather. No matter which way you slice it,
triple digit, you can cut the shin off.
And this is also something that I've grown I used to be, man, there were years when I was like in my 20s, late 20s, I think, and like very, very, very much following that rule that like through the summer, if I was going out, I put on pants.
I get it.
But that I'm yeah, at you know, at this ripe old age, it's I got you just mentioned the comfort, man. Comfort's king, and like it's climate change, baby. I think climate change has changed things.
Okay, I mean that makes sense.
And I'm going shorts if it's 90s.
I
If it's
do.
90s,
I
I'm going
try to
shorts.
skew pants as much as I can.
Yeah.
But the other night it was simply too hot, and I knew I was going to be outside, not in AC, for an extended period of time. And right before I left, we were supposed to leave at 7:30. At 7:32, I looked at the clock and I was putting on a pair of shorts.
Yeah, I mean, if the feels like temperature starts with a 9 when you're leaving the house,
Yeah.
like go for the shorts.
Yeah.
And a patio reservation in somewhere in a hot location,
No.
shorts.
People have Sambas. These have been widely panned lately. I'm not even going to go down that road because like people are just trying to ruin a classic. Aperol spritzes. People are tired of them. Pickleball. People are back in on tennis. I think the tennis heads are really trying to start a war here, and I like it.
They're trying to squash pickleball before
Yeah.
it really even has a chance to get started.
Shout out to old people getting active on pickleball, though.
Yeah.
We stand you. Belt bags. People are tired of belt bags in the summer heat can be a real tough
Oh,
thing.
yeah.
You might get some titty sweat going.
Yeah, you want a big sweat patch on a shirt?
Yeah.
wear a
get it.
shoulder hip bag. Yeah.
People are out on camp collars. I'm still in on camp collars. I'm
Yeah,
always going to like a classic camp collar, especially if Charlie Sheen's wearing it.
Well, right. He's single-handedly making sure they stay relevant, I think. But yeah, look, I hear this. I hear the buzz out there. The thing about it is, I think a lot of the people, and this is going to sound super hoity-toity, so I apologize. I think a lot of the people claiming that camp collars are out are not actually ready for what's next, which is like a far more like aggressive cut and style of shirt. Like, and by that I mean it's going to be even more cropped, and the sleeves are going to be longer, and like the collar's going to be kind of weird. And it's not because it's the camp collars going out does not mean we're going back to like a button down collar.
No.
Classic,
No.
Sports shirt, just short sleeves.
Yeah.
It means that we're moving on to the next kind of like
Correct.
weird swerve. And so I'm just like,
If you're a dude who's like worried to step out of their fashion box, like you don't want camp collars to go away.
that's right.
These are very easy for everyone to wear.
That is exactly right.
Yeah. Stanley mugs.
Okay.
Kind of surprised Sally doesn't own 3 of these at this point.
Yeah. This was something that was suddenly everywhere and super hot and like selling out, and like resale markets going crazy, and every suburb. I didn't even know that this was happening. And then all of a sudden it was like, now it's on the out list.
I was confused because so many people put Stanley Cups in there, and I was like, we have a lot of Panthers fans here that are very angry about what's going on right now. And I was so confused. Then I realized, no,
I
I'm
don't
just
know.
not there.
I kind of think maybe because we live in like Yeti City,
Maybe we're not. Maybe we're a little more numb to
that
it.
we're kind of insulated.
I'm in on hydration, so if you're doing that through a Stanley, I'm fine with that. Keep rolling.
Keep drinking. Keep that water intake.
I
up.
can't talk. Like I have this chuggy ass like Yeti with Sally's like initial stickers on it. Like this looks like shit. This is the worst thing we own.
I mean, I'm drinking out of a giant pink Yeti as we speak as
I'm
well.
hydrating
so,
though. This one was very controversial. There were a lot of answers on both sides, both being in and out. And this was short inseams, around 5 inches.
Yes.
People were.
yes.
I was surprised by how many people put on the in list that short shorts were back in, because I kind of feel like people have been out on these. But like, I also don't feel like I'm seeing that in the wild as much as people were submitting it. I feel like for me right now, the perfect inseam is 6 inches for me, maybe 6.5. But I'm going a little longer than I used to. I used to go real short. I'm still going a little short.
Yeah. I've got some thoughts.
Okay.
As somebody that works for a clothing brand and outside of that pays a ton of attention to trends, I can say pretty confidently that the trend boys out there are riding for bigger and baggier shorts right now.
What are your thoughts on baggier shorts that are still short? That are still like like they're just wider feeling, and maybe they have a larger leg opening.
I think that's very important.
Yeah.
I think that going for like that more like chubbies, like, kind of quad hugger thing.
Yeah.
Is that feels more dated to me right
Correct.
now.
That's
than
how I
like,
feel too.
Than the shorter inseam necessarily.
I feel like they have to be a little more wide and a little more baggy. Even if you're going to go with the short inseam, it needs to be baggy. It can't be. it can't be like, look how much I squat, like look at my ass.
Yeah, that I tend to agree with that. And you know, I had that ridiculous picture of Charlie Sheen pulled up where he's wearing those giant like vertically striped shorts. I mean, those they genuinely look like something Capital would put out right
Yes,
now.
they do. Like
know
it's
what I mean?
that, seeing that photo was like a little jarring because it was like if I saw someone walking down the street like that in New York, I'd be like, that person looks pretty cool.
Yeah, yeah. So so that's definitely like you know, if you're trying to ride what's hot, then it's bigger and baggier. I think that we've watched Chubbies come in and push the 5-inch inseams, and then 5-inch inseams was everywhere. And then we already kind of talked Patagonia baggies, 5-inch inseam, 5-inch inseam. Everybody wants short, 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 short. And 6 to 7 has never gone away.
Yeah.
That is the sweet spot. That's the wheelhouse. Like you can bury your head in the sand and put on 6 to 7 inch, and that will always look good. That's my take on it.
I also just feel like I mean, we just talked about how it's difficult, like how I think we'd both prefer to wear pants if we can wear pants, but the weather usually offers, you know, more short opportunities these days. I just think that I don't put much thought into shorts when I'm buying them, honestly. I just try to buy some that I can deal with and that are comfortable so that I can get it done with. But if I'm trying to actually look like my best, I'm probably not putting on a pair of shorts before anything else.
Yeah, it really is tough in the summer here because like you know.
If I was in New York and like I could not worry about like sweating through a pair of like baggier, longer shorts, like I'd be fine with that. But it's just difficult to have a pair of shorts that is, you know, I'm not just going to ruin.
Yeah. I think it's because of the kind of people are putting this on the in and the out list. There's never been a better time to play around with your short length. You know, try some super short ones, try some long ones. I think you're kind of gonna you're gonna fit in on the scale somewhere.
Yeah.
So it's a nice time to experiment. But I think 6 to 7 inch always good. I think shorter is still nice, great for the warmer weather. I definitely think that they should be a little bit baggier. And then if you want to try something kind of crazy and outlandish, you know, go for it. But you know, it's a pro move right now.
Yeah.
So
what do we have? Do we have any outs from
some good outs
live event?
Let's see here. We've got AirPods. I love my AirPod Pros. I can't get behind that.
I love my AirPod Maxes still. I do like the Bose better.
Out. Nothing. Trends are forever now. Thanks, internet culture.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah,
it's true. It's true.
Out. Ooh, here's one that's interesting. Out. Nashville.
I mean, living in Austin, I don't feel a huge need to go to Nashville. I feel like we're pretty adjacent cities.
Yeah. Let's see. Out. Working past 5 p.m.
Sign off. I have a big issue popping open the laptop or still mentally in work mode. I need to be better about the work-life balance.
But see, that's another benefit of going into the office.
You
get to clock out, man. Shut that computer.
I know, but when your office is the internet,
it's
hard to clock out.
Team content.
Yep.
Out. Laura's not gonna like this. Pilates.
What's wrong with Pilates?
I don't know, but somebody
motion
said it was
is lotion, baby. Motion is lotion.
Let's see. What else do we have? We've got paper straws. Yeah. They make compostable straws now that are not paper. We can move on from
we
the
can
paper
go
straws.
we can get beyond them.
Yeah, the paper ones are no need for those. Let's see. This one had out the Golden State Warriors in Jimmy Butler.
Oh, okay.
And somebody wrote this in early May before
did not age well.
Before Jimmy Butler but they wrote this before the Heat took down the Celtics.
It's true.
In that way they were very right.
It's true.
Just, you know, Jokic, man. Hard to beat. Going out on a Friday. I don't know why Friday is the night in day, but okay.
People hate Fridays, man. I kind of get it because it's a day where everyone's clamoring to get out. It's the busiest night of the week.
Okay.
Like,
all right.
I feel like because everyone's working, that causes everyone to go out at the exact same time. Whereas Saturday, you got some buddies over there that are having an early dinner reservation, that are parlaying drinks, whatever. I do think that it's become a tough time to go out if you're not in rage mode.
It's funny because I just like by nature, like, you know, I typically like one night in, one night out on a weekend.
Yeah.
The night in is typically Friday. But
See,
I just don't.
I like the Saturday night in.
Okay.
Because I enjoy waking up feeling, spry on a Sunday.
Yeah.
But I'm the Sunday scaries guy, so it's hard.
Out, being a hater. Well, we're
We do that.
I don't think we passed that.
I
Test
love
today.
hating.
Let's see. Out. Brunch.
I haven't been to a brunch in a minute.
I'm more of a the concept of brunch of bottomless mimosas. It seems to, I don't know if we've aged out of it or if it has dissipated a
I just
little
feel like
bit.
people aren't drinking at like that early in the day as hard as they used to be.
Right, I
I
agree.
feel like it's not in
think
vogue anymore. The younger
that's right.
generation's rejecting the morning drinking.
Last out that I have, worrying, and I fully stand that. You just Hakuna Matata, baby.
My therapist once told me, Will, you worry. That's what you do. It rattled me when she said that. I was like, okay, that is who I am. She was right. Barrett, I have bad news. I don't have a wish list item this week.
You know what? I don't either.
Let's skip it. Let's skip it this week.
I think it's a good week to skip.
Okay.
I spent all of my time thinking about ins and outs.
Yeah. And to be honest, I have been purchasing so much random crap lately that I've tried to not buy anything.
Yeah.
I think the last few purchases I've made have been like some graphic tees. And like I've been really trying to not purchase anything for the summer because I already know that between last summer's purchases that I made that still work this summer and the stuff that I've already bought this summer, like I simply don't need that much right now. So I think I'm going to forego this today.
Yeah, I'm kind of on that exact same mindset right now. It's like, I just bought a new swimsuit. That was good. I got my EVA Birks.
Oh, the Birks were popping in that photo.
Those panned out. Love those. And it's just like the stuff on my Essence wish list for the sale right now. It's like all more cooler weather stuff. So it's like I'm not touching it until it goes on super deep discount.
Yep.
And so I'm trying to show some restraint here.
Damn, we're frugal kings.
So yeah.
Good for us.
Yeah.
All
Try to
right.
hit that Southwest sale. You know what I mean?
Yeah. What's up with that? Is that going on now?
40% off if you book before Thursday on a bunch of flights. So get out there.
Damn, this is really benefiting Wanderlust Barrett this year.
Yeah.
I like it. Well, if you guys have any ins and outs, please go comment when I send out the email that has this episode in there. I'll put everything that we discussed in that episode, but it will be one of the more concise, quick listener digest, given that it's just going to be a list of a bunch of stuff that people listed out. Unless you have any closing thoughts, Barrett, I think it's time to bounce.
See you next time.